An unforgettable journey, from innocent childhood memories to the challenges of high school. Childhood, that phase which holds the most beautiful and innocent memories, yet it can also be the first gateway to challenges that grow with us day by day. In this article, I will share with you a true story I experienced myself. A tale that begins with the laughter of childhood and ends with the struggles of high school and its challenges, including my battle with masturbation and how it affected my journey. Join me on this thrilling journey by watching the video. A Slip into Darkness, my battle with an addiction that nearly destroyed me. I am not writing these words to seek your sympathy, but to warn every young person who has fallen into the clutches of this habit or risks venturing close to it. This is my story with masturbation, that silent devil that crept into my life like cancer, leaving my body frail and my soul shattered. An innocent childhood turned hellish. I grew up like any ordinary child in a conservative family, so shy that I would blush if a girl spoke to me. At 16, I thought I was lucky when I met Michael in high school. He had a magnetic personality, but he unknowingly dragged me into a dark world. Michael used to hang out with girls and smoke with them. One evening, he introduced me to Sarah, an Arab girl living in America. What started as innocent messages between us soon turned into a questionable relationship. I had no idea that moment would be the first spark of my downfall. The abyss, an addiction that began with a click. Sarah began sending me nude photos online, and our conversations escalated into explicit sexual talk. I would masturbate while staring at my phone screen, deluding myself into thinking this was a love story. This nightmare lasted 3 years, until I discovered she was cheating on me. But the deeper damage wasn't a broken heart. It was an addiction I couldn't shake. The collapse, an exhausted body and an empty soul. After the breakup, I became a regular visitor to porn sites. I masturbated twice a day until my body felt like a drained sponge. Loss of focus. I could no longer study, as if my mind was shrouded in thick fog. Chronic laziness. Even getting out of bed in the morning became a battle. Social withdrawal. I isolated myself, ashamed of my addiction. Decreased sexual sensitivity. My journey to quitting masturbation. Masturbation had long been a secret refuge for many, including myself. But I didn't realize its devastating impact until it was too late. Due to my excessive indulgence, my sexual sensitivity diminished, negatively affecting my performance and ability to enjoy a natural, intimate relationship. It wasn't just a physical issue. It became a psychological and social crisis that nearly ruined my life. Guilt and anxiety, temporary pleasure, lasting regret. Despite the fleeting pleasure I felt during masturbation, I suffered its harsh psychological aftermath. After each time, I was overwhelmed with deep guilt, anxiety, and even anger at myself for the smallest reasons. Perhaps because the act was secretive, or because I felt I was deceiving my body and soul with something artificial. This inner conflict left me trapped in perpetual dissatisfaction, isolation, and a stagnant life. When a secret habit becomes destructive. The damage wasn't limited to my sexual health. It seeped into my daily life. I became more reclusive, avoiding social interactions, and often felt lonely even among friends. Masturbation became an escape from reality, but in return, it stole the joy of real life. I wasted hours in emptiness, hurting my productivity at work and studies, and felt stuck in an endless spiral. After a long struggle, I decided to take serious steps toward change. It wasn't easy, but determination made the impossible possible. Here are some strategies that helped me. 1. Eliminating triggers. Stopped watching porn and provocative content on social media. Blocked relapse-inducing sites, replacing them with beneficial or healthy entertainment. 2. Filling free time with positive activities. Started exercising regularly, channeling energy in a healthy way. Engaged in social and volunteer activities, surrounding myself with uplifting friends. 3. Time management and task structuring. Divided my day into dedicated slots for work, study, exercise, and leisure. Avoided isolation by spending time with family and friends, especially during vulnerable hours. 4. Seeking professional help when needed. When urges overwhelmed me, I consulted a therapist or behavioral specialist. Freedom begins with a decision. Breaking free from masturbation, addiction isn't an overnight process. It's a journey requiring patience and resolve, but the rewards are worth it. Restored sexual sensitivity, vanished guilt, renewed self-confidence, and a return to a balanced social and psychological life. Awakening, it's not too late. Today, after a long struggle, my recovery journey has begun. I've learned that masturbation isn't just a pastime. It's a poison that kills your ambition and dignity. If you're suffering as I did, know that strength lies not in surrender, but in facing the darkness with a fistful of light. The goal of the story. When I decided to quit masturbating, my journey began slowly, day by day. In the first week, I noticed the feeling of lethargy and fatigue gradually fading from my body, as if I were shedding a heavy weight that had been dragging me down. After a month, my life had transformed noticeably. I felt an overwhelming surge of vitality and energy, becoming more active and lively than ever before. Then came the real surprise after 3 months. Believe me, I felt like a purebred horse racing tirelessly across distances, brimming with unstoppable drive. And when I got married, I discovered that my sexual performance had become stronger and more potent. It was a new chapter that added to the many improvements in my life. The changes were so profound that I could barely remember the old version of myself I'd once been. Chapter 1: The Awakening. The city was still shrouded in darkness when I opened my eyes at 5 a.m. It wasn't the alarm that woke me, but that strange, growing sense of purpose filling my soul. I rose from my bed with determination, as if my body knew the path to transformation before my mind did. In the silence of my room, I began my workout, each movement like a silent scream against the laziness that had chained me for years. Then came the moment of truth. The cold shower. The AC water crashing against my skin felt like an electric jolt reviving the dead. I screamed inside, but I didn't back down. I had learned that temporary pain was the price of permanent strength. Chapter 2: The Routine That Freed Me. By sunrise, I was ready to face the world. Breakfast was simple but nutritious, fuel for a machine that no longer knew how to stop. Then, the commute to my job at the Chicago docks, where I'd slip on my blue work shirt and haul heavy cargo, yet my spirit felt lighter than ever. Lunch at noon, healthy meals fit for a professional athlete. I was no longer the guy who devoured fast food behind the wheel. By 4 p.m., I was back home, but this time, home wasn't a cage of boredom. It was a workshop for creativity. Chapter 3: Filling the Void with Life. I no longer understood the meaning of free time. Every minute became an opportunity to learn a new skill, share coffee with a friend, or listen to my family's stories. Warmth I had nearly forgotten. Evenings were for wandering the city streets, chasing the sunset as if bidding it farewell. Dinner was light, followed by a book in my hands. 30 minutes of escaping into other worlds, before sinking into sleep at 11 p.m., like a soldier who knew the next battle would come at dawn. Chapter 4: Weekends, Where Life Explodes. Weekends were an adventure never repeated. Camping with friends in nature's embrace or riding my massive motorcycle. The wind slapping my face like a reminder that I was alive. Time flew like a blade, but this time, I was the one gripping the hilt. Epilogue: I am no longer that person. There was no room left for masturbation or negative thoughts in my life. I'd replace them with moments of achievement, moments that made me wake up every morning knowing exactly why I did what I did. I found light in routine and freedom in discipline. And so, the story I told myself every night before bed became a tangible reality. The tale of a lost young man who found himself in the details of an ordinary day that became extraordinary. Now, words fail to describe my happiness. As if I've achieved one of my greatest dreams, or as if I've walked on the moon. This transformative leap in my life made me realize that the decision I made was the true beginning of a better life. If you're struggling like I was, remember, change is possible. All you need is to begin, step by step. This isn't the end of my story, it's a new beginning. Are you ready to write yours without shame? Share in the comments.